Finding a way to balance the budget without raising taxes. It's the job new Alberta Premier Jason Kenney has tasked the so-called Blue Ribbon Panel, and they're expected to get the job done by August 15th. A former NDP finance minister will be leading the nonpartisan group. Janice McKinnon, who was Saskatchewan's finance minister under Roy Romano, will chair the group, along with Vice Chair Mike Percy, a former Alberta Liberal MLA. However, the panel is not tasked with looking into the question of taxes, which some Alberta economists have gone on record as saying would be a good thing for the Alberta economy.
I would now like to. Our platform does include a commitment to holding a panel on tax reform in the latter years of this mandate. So I would anticipate that in roughly 2021-22, you will see an expert panel to advise us on the optimal tax structure in Alberta for jobs and growth.
The article that I did on Alberta finance as a former Saskatchewan finance minister, my eyes popped at the amount of spending here. Wow, relative to the rest of Canada, this is a big spending province in virtually every area. And so that's correctly what the focus should be on, get that spending under control. We assume the revenue picture doesn't change, but that's a separate issue.
Everyone agrees it's a great group of people on the panel. However, the NDP feels like this is the UCP passing the buck should cuts need to be made, while the mayor wants to make sure they take their time to get it right.
You cannot balance a year earlier by 2022 without making massive cuts. What this means is larger class sizes, fewer teachers, fewer supports. For our students, it means longer wait times, more delays in services that Albertans rely on.
I'm not sure this commission is going to learn anything that we don't already know, which is fundamentally we've got to get off of royalty revenues. We've got to get off our dependence on non-renewable resources. We do have to look at the revenue side of the equation as well as the cost side of the equation. So I could probably help them write that report without doing any research, but it's good we're doing it.
School of Public Policy economist Ron Kneebone says the most important thing in panels like this is the members. And Kneebone says this panel is an impressive collection of nonpartisan names and qualified experts who are up to the task.
It's interesting. When governments do these things, it puts themselves into a sometimes difficult position. If I'm going to, as a government, I'm appointing an independent panel and saying I'm giving them free rein to make recommendations. Sometimes it can come back and bite you, and you have to accept that because you appointed a panel. So it's a bit of risk sometimes.
The panel is tasked with reporting back to the government by mid-August with advice on how to get the province out of its deficit situation. Kenney says the panel's advice will help the government balance the books without raising taxes by 2022-23 and will be consulted when drafting the budget come the fall.